It's not me though. And we're gonna ask for your attention just a little bit before you start socializing even more. There is this company from, you could call us Norse. We're actually based from San Francisco, but that's only on paper. We're called GetAccept, and we're partnered up with Glyphic tonight to do a little bit of education for revenue leaders, RevOps consultings, people working in revenue that wants to win faster, win more, and win more effectively. The Glyphic guys has done amazing for our team. I'm sure my CEO Samir will entertain you much more on that. But the next couple of minutes we're going to hear about specifically Glyphic from, I assume, Adam Liska, who's going to be a little bit of an entertainer on how Glyphic are doing agentic work in the future and how their product are, well, kicking ass for revenue teams across the world, including ours. We've been using it for a year now, and our team would riot if we pull it out tomorrow. At the same time, I really appreciate all of you guys coming here tonight. I think it's just great to see so many just networking and happily people staying here with an amazing view that the WeWork has made sure for us. And I'm just really grateful to be able to spend time with people like Glyphic that have built a proper product in a sea of AI tech that is just that, but these guys are actually solving a real problem. So give it up for Adam Liska and enjoy a night.
Perfect. Yeah, you called me Matthias, you called me entertainer. I'm not sure I am an entertainer, but I'll try. I guess, yeah, super excited for you, for everyone to come tonight. This was actually our first office, and we hosted a couple of events here. It's a bit funny that since then we've been going downhill, I think, office-wise. But it was difficult to get the size of the office that we wanted down here. But we're very happy to be back here and talk to all of you. The view is amazing. Yeah, no, very happy to also collaborate with GetAccept. I'll kind of discuss a little bit towards the end as I'm handing over to Samir, that I can't see, but he's somewhere here. Perfect. But yeah, kind of very quickly, I just wanted to say, super happy you're here. We all feel like go-to-market workflows and go-to-market kind of the role is changing a lot. And it's not just go-to-market, but it's really kind of everything is being changed a lot right now. I kind of think back to when I was at DeepMind working on AI. I think internally we were all excited about AI, but we didn't expect it was going to move this fast. And really, I would say kind of 80% of people were taken aback when LLMs kind of started really kind of iterating this fast and becoming much cleverer. And we're really in a point where when you
Oh, not nice slides.
where are my slides?
I don't know.
I can maybe just I can maybe talk over these slides. So
You didn't get the memo to get your slides in there.
that wasn't me up in the air.
Can you entertain?
Yes. Well, to be honest, it's not that I have that many slides. So I think I'm also happy to just go without slides, and we can then switch to this. But anyway, kind of how we think about go-to-market is kind of when you look at the efficiency pressures in the market now, it's really kind of you want to scale without scaling your team, and that's really what we want to do. What we want to do at Glyphic. Do you think you get it in, or?
Yeah, I can sort it.
Okay, perfect. And that's really kind of the philosophy behind Glyphic. Kind of when you look at all the workflows that you need to be performing right now, a lot of it is actually, we got to a point that a lot of it can be automated away, so that you as a rep, or you as a revenue leader really focus on the things that you need to focus on. We kind of, when we started building Glyphic, we kind of took it in a few different acts. And our first act was really kind of plug into all your customer and prospect conversations, because that's where we feel your unique data it really is, because that's, I mean, everyone can go and read all the public reviews, read what's happening in the market, but it's really kind of at the interface of you talking to your customers and you talking to your prospects that most of the gold happens. How do they view you against your competitors? What are the new pain points that are coming up, etc., etc. Kind of when we're talking to founders in our revenue leaders and founders in our network, we're kind of consistently running into awesome. There you go.
There you go.
Fantastic.
We're there. And I can solve a lot of things, but we're still not there with these basics. But it's really kind of that data. When you look at the history of the last 25 years in go-to-market tech, it's really been collecting more data and insights. But actually, that data very often was unstructured, and so you couldn't even get to the insights. And then very often there was a huge execution gap from having access to this data to all these tools, and actually then closing revenue. And that's what we're solving at Glyphic. When you look at some of the top GTM teams right now, they're actually employing engineers internally to be building a lot of these automations behind the scene. But kind of that's really for the top 1%. It's for the rest of us, kind of we want to have something that makes that much easier, and that's kind of what Glyphic is delivering. We're really kind of delivering that experience so that you can go really make your team not just 20% more efficient, but really building towards 5x and 20x. So when I was I'll go back to that, but when I was talking about the different acts within Glyphic, our kind of first goal that we wanted to do is really deliver on the initial promise of CRMs. Kind of how can we have all the structured data about our customers and about our pipeline in a single place? And how can we reason and go there and ask questions? Should we go into this geo? Should we improve this product direction so that we kind of can unlock more revenue? This was always the promise of CRMs, but relying on human data input, human data analysis, it was really never delivered. We delivered that within a year, but now are kind of going much beyond that. Our next act was really much, how can we augment your reps? How can we give them all the context when they go into conversations around, where's these conversations? What other similar conversations have we had before? How can we kind of close this one? How should we really game plan this deal, etc.? How can we automate some of our post-conversation workflows, like getting your sales engineer in, getting the brief for them, automating your CRM updates, all that stuff. That again we solved. The current kind of act, which is what we're building today, is how can we take over some of your more complex multi-step workflows and automate those away so that again your team can really kind of excel. When you look at your regular kind of mid-market rep, they might be focusing on their top 6-7 deals, but really that's about it. They know the deals with the highest momentum. They know that's where the next commission is coming from, but they're overlooking 90% of their pipeline that maybe there's an objection they can't deal with, or they're just stalled, etc. How can you really unlock the revenue that's here? And that's kind of what we're building now in Glyphic and delivering to our users. Things like, I just closed a customer within healthcare. Take that deal, figure out the messaging, create that outbound campaign, and automatically push it to outreach, and automatically get all the contacts that we should be targeting with the messaging. Or take over my stalled deals and re-engage all my stalled deals with recent information, be it on the product side or be it on recent close one, any third-party validation that we can bring. Kind of really, we feel like this is where you want to be investing right now, because very often these are workflows that your reps should be doing, but we can be clear that very often that just doesn't happen, because whenever they close a deal, they're on to their next kind of high priority deal. And it's really this that we're building now in Glyphic to really become your execution platform. We feel like that's where most of the innovation will be happening over the next years. To be honest, over the next months, there's a lot happening now. I think one thing that we kind of on purpose left out is very much kind of how do you build internal selling, how do you build stakeholder management, and kind of how do you deal with that. And for that, we thought, let's really kind of partner with the best out there, and it's GetAccept. But at the same time, we didn't want to again build kind of a disconnected system. And so that's why from the very beginning, we wanted to build a system that communicates automatically and pushes that information from one system to another. GetAccept, actually, we were connected in the early days by one of our investor connections, but it was very kind of interesting because we both started using our products became power users and kind of realized that there's this connection missing that should be there, and kind of started building towards that. I think they might have been our first Nordic customer, and since then I feel like Malmo is my second hometown. I haven't been yet, but it's but in terms of our customers, there's a lot happening up there in the Nordics, and for that, very excited to hand over to Samir.
Thank you. Come closer, come closer.
I assume you got this out part.
Yeah, let's see. I'm going out for that. I'm going in. Cool. Go. Come closer if you want to. Like you're so far away. Take some with you. So nice to be here. Thank you. My name is Samir. As you can see, standing here and smiling both here and on the screen. I'm a product guy, so often I smile when I'm working with the product teams. But also to build good products, you need to meet the users, right? So I'm also smiling a lot when I'm out here. Also smiling when I'm kind of throwing myself out of an airplane. So when I get challenged to do something that I'm not used to. And as you can see, some people ask me, are you the one on top, on bottom? I'm the one there on bottom with the crazy suit. And the crazy suit is not with me today, but usually it's our event suit. And if you want to have a lot of leads, put on this suit, go to an event, and you'll have at least 100 business cards. I promise you that. So that's my best sales tip to start with. No way I need it. But that's a couple of questions, like how many, I wanted to understand how many are Glyphic customers here? Some. Perfect. Glyphic or Glyphic? Absolutely. Great one. Cool. And you who use Glyphic, do you use Glyphic to engage with your customers and push deals forward post meetings, or is it more to understand what happens internally and so on? You do? Yeah? Cool. And then just another question for everyone. How many think that 25 was a shitty year? You look forward to a sunny 26? Some? Okay, cool. Then we have something for everyone. So the purpose of my session here is to kind of help you a little bit on the AI agenda overall in your organization. I'm not sure of the different roles that we have here, but hopefully you have something for everyone in general for AI and how you should think about that. And then inspire you a little bit on how you can actually do things hands-on already tomorrow when you come back to your offices. So if you're not using AI today, you can die tomorrow, I was about to say, but is there anyone that feels like we're not doing enough internally with AI? Some nodding heads, some, cool. And I really think this needs to pick up. I talk to CEOs every now and then, maybe us in the Nordics we're a little bit behind, and many do say that, yeah, we're doing some things, kind of experimenting a little bit, but nothing that actually is putting any progress forward. And I really think that you need to do that, because if you're not doing things that actually are progressing and yeah, giving back any value on a daily basis, you're sliding. So pick up that and educate yourself on AI in general, because you really need to do things. And how many of you use AI today, such as Glyphic, for example, and think that this is really kick-ass? So think of that, because that is the worst AI models that you're using. It will only become better and better, more or less, not only for every month or year, it's kind of every week or every day. So you really need to get on this train, and maybe I'm speaking for or preaching for the choir, because you as leaders, if we have any leaders here today, you need to kind of be the one on top. And many leaders that I talk to kind of think like, yeah, but the AI, someone else will do that for me. I'll do sales in my old traditional way, and I love the part where you meet like this. But I also think many of you need to lead this transformation. And a lot of the projects that you put in will fail, but one thing that we decided at GetAccept that worked a lot was that we kind of put an accountability, and we put in a goal for everyone, and we said that we will double our ARR without increasing any headcount. And that kind of started to reach out to the teams here. We have Glenn here, and we thought like, hell, I'll need to work double. But you're not working double, and we've increased some ARR, right, since then. And being AI first is about a mindset. So I think we put it in like a manifesto that everyone needs to think about AI. It's an AI first mindset internally, and you're not allowed to ask for resources before you are trying out things with AI. And that started to get people to think a lot, and for everyone it means really everyone. And of course we did a lot, we experimented a lot, using AI, it was a lot of pilots being pushed out. Luckily Glyphic was one of the successful ones, but we did a lot of bad ones also, and a lot of ones with no direction. I think, of course you should experiment, but I think also you need to take and stand and focus on things that will work, of course, and you need to experiment to find that. But we focused a lot on the boring things. Reps don't like to fill in the CRM, but we as leaders love to do reporting, right? Reps don't like to write meeting notes, but we know that meeting notes that are sent are actually helping to progress deals forward if it's done in the right way. So we focused a lot on those things, helped out our teams with that, with a specific AI operations team, and put on a plan on how to do things, and we really deliver these values quick. One thing that we was implementing Glyphic, which, as you said here, Matthias, it would be a riot if we would pull it out. And not just saying that because we are here together with Glyphic, because it is really valuable. And these are some of the things that we do, but I really wanted to show you how Glyphic and GetAccept can work in real life. And I'll do that through a customer of ours, Tom. Tom is a customer. He is the CEO at Scalewise. Anyone that knows Tom? Yeah, some has some hat. Oh, cool. Is known. So what we'll look at is how Tom interact and stand out. How he handles post-meeting admin and how that reduced his sales cycle time and helps him win deals, and how he saves literally hours every week using AI and GetAccept in combination with Glyphic. So one thing that I didn't tell what we do, GetAccept is a digital sales room, and one thing that we do is that we bring all the mess that happens when you send emails in different threads into one place, so that the customer actually understands who am I talking to, what am I buying, and the different stakeholders that will be involved, as you know, will also be able to follow, so that you can progress that deal quicker through the funnel. And often this is how you sell. You write amazing emails, right? Your reps do amazing emails. And this was how Tom actually sold to GetAccept in the early days. He sent me an email. We were hiring for a VP sales role. He lined it up, and then there were coming more and more and more and more emails. And as you can see, that email thread became quite long. There was several people involved, both from our party and also from Scalewise side. This became very scattered, and it's really hard to get back to that email thread, figuring out where was that PDF that he shared, where was that Becky's statement that I wanted to use internally, how should I now bring that to our HR department, because I need my VP of HR to help me out with this VP of sales hire that I'm doing. And I said to Tom, you should do something different, Tom, you should use a room. And he did. So I spun him up with a room before he became a customer. And now he doesn't send emails in the way that he did before. He actually creates a room for every time he wants to support anyone in a hire. He talks about what they do at Scalewise and why we should choose them. It becomes, as you can see, much more professional. And the good thing is that, of course, Tom and Gavin and the team knows who visits this, so they can get information on that. No AI involved anywhere here yet. But this one shared space, of course, helps a lot, especially if there are deals dragging out for weeks, for months, maybe sometimes even for a year or so. And there will be a lot of stakeholders involved. Builds professional, it's easier to sync for all parties, and of course, again, you can track everything. But then the AI steps in, and we have Glyphic, where Mr. Tom is doing all his meetings through Glyphic. He gets the notes, he gets the information on who he have to talk to about what. And after every meeting, he wants to share a meeting note. Because he knows that it's more likely to move prospects forward through the funnel if you share a note quickly with a summary and next step the same day. But as for everyone, Tom gets into the situation where, those meeting notes don't get written, right? Because, let me see here. Let's get back here. But now, when he uses GetAccept, he has all the meetings gathered inside of GetAccept, which means that not only for him is it good that he can go back there, he has them in Glyphic also, but the customer can go back there, or the prospect, so they can always find everything. So as you introduce new people, or the prospect introduces new stakeholders, they will always get back and be able to see what has been said, who has said what. And not only do we integrate there with Glyphic to make that super simple, you just click the button, you get in the meeting, and of course in here you'll get the video and everything, and the full transcript, and you can also get the specific meeting notes. But on top of that, often when you share meeting notes, you want to make them specific for the customer, right? The things that you usually save in your CRM is for internal notes. It doesn't maybe always tell all the details that you want to tell to the customer, right? So here you can write a specific prompt to make sure that the meeting notes that you share in seconds after the meeting are specific for that type of meeting or for that specific type of vertical or whatever you're working. So you can have your prompt saved, and that will make sure that that specific meeting note then gets written in a couple of seconds and shared in that room without you taking the whole evening to do so. And this of course helps. You can get it out in, more or less 5 minutes after the meeting, and you've done your thing, and now you can go home and spend the time with your kids maybe, I don't know, instead of sitting and writing meeting notes all evening. And this, me now, I'm not selling too much anymore, to be honest, which I'm ashamed for a little bit, but when I do every now and then, I love this part, because I was the one always promising meeting notes the same day. They were never sent the same day. They were often not sent at all. And then I was ashamed, and starting the next meeting would say, sorry, I didn't share the meeting notes, but now we're here again, so I'll be better. So, as you can see, shared all in one place and very professional. But on top of that, what's really cool now is when you have all these meeting notes, suddenly we can not only write the notes, but we can more or less write anything that you need in the room. Because if you have all the meeting notes, of course you can build content on top of that. So what happens every time after a meeting is held, especially maybe a discovery meeting, is that you want to write what did you discover, what challenges and implications did you figure out during this meeting, and you really want to send this to the customer, because the one that you're talking to is maybe not the one taking the decision, right? It's someone else that also needs to understand what pain they are in and how we can help them solve that. So this is something that Tom is doing when he's hiring. He wants to really make sure that the one that he talks to then can send this message forward into that company. So why should they hire this VP of sales, and why should they spend tons of money on that? And how important is this? So he always does this discovery overview. That took him a couple of days, because it takes a couple of hours to do sometimes. And just as the meeting note, it didn't happen, but this really needs to happen. So he can't come back and say, I didn't write it, because then nothing will happen. So he has this template, so we just put it in the template in GetAccept. We added a couple of prompts, we fine-tuned the prompts, and since you have the discovery call, right, you should be able to do this automatically. So what happens here is that from his template, he can just edit this with AI. The meetings are saved already with all the transcript and all information. So he just updates this section based on the last meeting, and it understands which prompts to use behind the scenes because it knows which meeting it is. And then it populates this little content piece here all automatically. And now Tom can send that straight after the meeting without thinking through and figuring out and trying to kind of put this together in the evening. So again, something that helps him keep speed and helps him really to kind of move deals forward quicker. And it becomes very professional. And this is just one more similar video where he kind of also can prompt and save all his own prompts and prompt engineer, because I think this is a really important part to think. One co-founder thinks that writing prompt is the most boring thing. But I'm trying to tell him that if you write one really good prompt, it will do all the work for you. So you can connect any of those things. So he writes business cases through prompt engineering here, and again, it uses the meetings to kind of populate those things. So think of anything more or less that you want to kind of write and send to customers. This can happen. And the last thing that I wanted to show, it's not only that it will help you when you think you need help and when you ask for that help. The next thing is then that it will actually tell you when to do things. So if you've had a meeting, or if something else had happened in the room, our AI will kind of pop up and tell you that, hey, you have some things that we can update in the room. This is not live yet, something that we're testing out. So then it will tell you like, hey, you can write a challenging or a challenger content piece, or you should maybe answer a couple. You have a couple of answers and questions that we can populate into the room, or you have a business case that we should, or a customer case that you should share because the customer asks for this. So in this case, the challenges and the kind of implications is already written before you even know. So it will tell you. You had a couple of questions that you did actually answer during the call, and those are now written here and you have the answers. But since I'm new in sales at GetAccept, I don't have all answers. So sometimes I say, I don't really know. I'll talk to Mohammed, who's here somewhere, and he'll figure it out for me, and then I get back to you. Now I don't need you, Mohammed, anymore. Sorry for that. But GetAccept will figure that out because others have answered these questions, or you have uploaded them in the knowledge vault, which means that we can both answer the questions and then direct you to where they will find this source so that you can ensure that it wasn't any sales rep making things up. And then in the end, we'll also recommend a couple of Salesforce cases in this case, because the customer that we're trying to sell to is also using Salesforce. So as a rep now, you don't have to do too much, to be honest. Just make sure that you have the meetings, you build relationships, you work on what you should do the best, is being human, and then, Glyphic and GetAccept will do the rest, hopefully. So that's what we do. Any questions? No? Okay, then I'll let you drink beers and mingle again. Cool, thank you for listening in.